Hey guys, and welcome to Simplilearn. In today's video, we'll be creating a basic e-commerce website with the help of PHP, MySQL, HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap. Now, let me show you a glimpse of the website we'll be creating, which is called techbyte.com. But you can obviously create a website for the product of your choice. So let me just go to the browser, type in localhost website, and this is the website that we'll be creating. This is a very basic website for e-commerce services, but as you can see, we have displayed the top products on the front page of a website. And here from the drop-down menu, you can see laptops and phones. So without wasting much time, let's get started. Now before we begin, let me tell you that we'll be using Visual Studio Code as the IDE, our code editor, and XAMPP as the web server solutions package, which will be hosting a local server for the website. Now, another thing that we need to do before beginning is we need to go to a browser and type in Bootstrap, download, go to this website, and from here, download the Bootstrap file. This will be a compressed file. You can download it from here, and I'll tell you later what we're going to do with it. Now let's go and set up a coding environment. So let me just close this, go to C, XAMPP folder, locate h3docs folder in it, and create any name for your project. I'll be writing website. And inside this website, what you're going to do is go to your downloads. Now, this Bootstrap folder that we just downloaded, we are going to extract it. Inside that website folder. So, let's just go back. So we need them outside, delete this. So as you can see, we have got a CSS and JS folder, and we'll be using this in a website. Now let us begin our code. So right click, open with code. Now this is our Visual Studio Code, and as you can see, our website folder is visible here, and from here we can create a new file. So our first file would be index.php. Now let's start our code. Type in exclamation mark and hit enter, and you can see this block of code will be visible here. Now we need to add a few things. Well, not a few, quite a lot. First would be title. The title would be, well, since my website is TechBuy, I'm going to keep the title as TechBuy. Next, what we're going to do is we are going to add some links to this index.php. So these are the links for the CSS files present inside this folder that we just downloaded from Bootstrap. And we'll be linking some of the files from this folder onto our website so that the website looks good. Yeah. Now the reference would be CSS. This is the folder, and the file is bootstrap.min.css. So this is the first file that we're going to be linking. Next, let's add a script here. So this is a pretty popular script and you can find it on the internet easily. Ajax. Well, yeah, this ends a script here. Let me just recheck if I typed it correctly. Yeah, seems fine. Now moving on, we are going to be adding another script that would be JavaScript, and it will include bootstrap. I'm just going to find it, bootstrap.min.js. Here this ends a second script. Now let us just end this title and move on to the body part of the code. Now, what do we need to produce or create first? Now, the first thing that we need is a navigation bar. So, to create a navigation bar, I'll give you a pretty easy way to do that. Instead of writing a hefty big code, you need to go to your browser. Since we are using Bootstrap, why not take the best out of it? Now type in Bootstrap navbar, go to this link, navbar bootstrap, and as you can see, this navbar can be accessed using this code. Just copy it, go back and paste it in your body. Now we'll be making a few changes to our navigation bar according to our e-commerce website, but before that, we need to check if this navigation bar is visible correctly on the web page. Now to do that, first let's open our XAMPP control panel, start our Apache server, and go to a browser. Now to see the result of your code, to see if this code that you've just written is how does it look on a web page, we need to type in localhost followed by the name of the folder that you created for your project. Since the name of my folder is website, I've written website here, click on enter, and well, our navigation bar looks a bit weird. There's no designing to it. Now let me go back to the code and see what I did wrong. Well, yeah, we don't need this bootstrap reboot.min.css. Instead, we need just bootstrap.min.css. Let's save it, go back and reload. Well, our navigation bar is visible. Let's go back to the code and start making some of our changes. The first change that I'm going to be making is I will change the color theme of this navigation bar, and yeah, looks much better. Now let me remove some things. First, let's change the name to techbuy.com. Well, second, let it be home. So this is the drop down. I'll be changing it to products. The first product is laptop. The second one, phones. We don't need this here. And let me put the divider in between. We don't need this disabled part either, and neither do we need the search form. Now I want to make a few changes to the navigation bar. So this navigation bar seems a little thin. Let me add just a little bit of breadth to it. Yep, looks good. And as you can see, laptops, phones, and this dividing line. Now what we need to do is create a front page that is the top featured content on the front page that will be visible on our e-commerce website. So to do that, create a div class. Let us name it, and this will be a column div. Inside this, another div class. This will be for the row. And now just a second. Yes, this will also need a class since we want our text in the center of the page. And top products. Okay, let me just add some spaces. Well, before adding those images and the products onto a page, we need to prepare a little bit more. So before that, let us just save this piece of code and see how does it look. So it displays top products in the center of the page. Looks great. Now what we need to do before we can display the products on this page is we need to create a database in where we are going to store all the information regarding our products, and we will fetch that data from the database and display it on our website. Now to create the database, just go back to the XAMPP control panel and start the MySQL Server 2. Now here type in localhost PHP myadmin, and you can see you are now redirected to the PHP myadmin control panel where you can create different databases. So as you can see, I've already created a database named TechBuy, under which I have got another table that is products with some data here. Now I'll show you how to create a database from scratch. Now to do that, we need to go to this new part. Now since we already have a TechBuy database, let us name it something different, e-commerce, and create. Now we have created a database named e-commerce, and inside the e-commerce, what we need to do is we need to create a table let us create the table and name it products. Now our table will mainly consist of around 6 or 7 columns, and let us keep it 7. The first would be ID, of course, and it will be auto incremented. The second, title of the product, which will be a variable character, 255. Price of the product, since prices can be in decimal, let us keep this decimal, and the values would be 10,2. Next is brand name. This is variable character, 100 would do. Image. Now this column here will contain the location of the image on our server or on a system, since our system is the local server. So this will also be a variable character, 255. Next would be description. This will be a text, since a description can be long. And last would be featured. Alright, let us save this table, and we have our products table here in our new database, that is e-commerce. Now we need some images for this image file for our products. Now I've already downloaded some images. Let me just copy them. Now go back to a C drive, XAMPP. What we are going to do is we are going back to our website folder, and we'll be creating a new folder inside the website folder, and let us name it images, and paste your images here. Let me go back to this Visual Studio Code, and as you can see, our images are visible here. We'll be using them very soon. Let us go back to this, and let me add an entry here. So we'll be working with one product, and once you understand the concept, you can add many more products later on. So the title would be Google Pixel 5, the price 65,000, brand name of course Google. Image. Now to add the path of your image, what you need to do is you need to go back here, images. Now the path would be inside website and inside images folder. So website, images, and then followed by the name of the image. Since the name for my Google phone is gpixel, I'll be writing gpixel.png. Make sure you do not make a mistake while writing a name. And in the description, well, I've copied some description from the internet. I will be posting the same here. Google Pixel 5, 5G, 8GB RAM, 128GB space. Now, inside the featured part, we'll be numbering it 1 and click on go. So go back to browse, and you can see your field that you just created visible here. So now that we have the entry for our image for our product, that is Google Pixel 5 phone, in our database, let us go back to the code to see how to retrieve this information from this database into our code and display it on our screen. Let's go back to our code, and in our code, let us go back to the top, and here we are going to be creating a PHP script, and inside that script I will be accessing the database. Now let us create a connection to the database using MySQLi connect, and inside this what we are going to do is we will be writing the name of the server, since the server is localhost, and then this next would be root. Now again MySQLi. Now here select DB database, and inside this we'll be selecting a database from the MyAdmin panel. So what we need to do is we need to write the variable name followed by the name of the database that we need information from. So the name of our database was Ecommerce. Yep. So Ecommerce. So here we have created a connection with the database. Now let us create another file SQL. So for this variable will be accessing all the information stored in our table products. So we'll be writing some SQL commands. Select star, that is all the details from name of our table products. Let me just recheck. Products, yep, and where featured is equals to 1. So remember that while creating our entry we put this featured value as 1. So this part of the code is done. Now let us go back down where we stopped last and write our PHP script. So here what we are going to do is we will be creating a while loop. Now inside the while loop we will create another variable as products, which will be equals to MySQLi, and this function is used to fetch the data from the database and feature. Well, there's something that we missed. We did not create the variable featured here, and well, it would have given an error. So what featured would do is featured would use the connection to query the SQL command. Now go back here. What this while loop will be doing is this while loop will be fetching the data from our table under the category of featured number 1. So next what we're going to do is next we will create another div class which would be inside this h4 another PHP script is equals to product. Now inside this, since this will be the title, we will be displaying the title from here. So what we need to do is we need to add the title and close the PHP script here. Next, we need to display the image. So here in this image src, we don't need to write the path of the image since we have already entered that into the database. What we need to do is we need to specify the path from where we need to fetch the image from the database. So it's pretty simple. Again, the same thing, product, and as you would have guessed it, it will be image. Was it image or images? Let me just recheck. It was image. Close this, close the file, and here we have retrieved our image. Now product, inside this product, what we are going to get is the price, title, so that if one would hover over here, it will display the title of the product, and that's it. We need to close it. Just a sec. Okay, so yep, looks good. Next, we will display the price of the product. To do that, we will create a class. Let us name it price. Close it. Rupees. We are doing it again. Product. And here, what we need to do is we need to get the price and close this. Similarly, whatever details that we need to display here from the database, we are going to be accessing them through this script with changing the name of the column that we need to access. So now that we have all this, let us also create a reference page, and I'll be creating another file, details.php, which will display the details of the product. But before that, let me create a button. Type button, class, button success. Now the name of the button would be more, and well, this ends here. Also, what we need to do is we need to let me just see. What we need to do is we need to end this while loop, and while here, and just close it. So this div and this div, everything's good. Save. Let's go back and see if it's working. And voila, we have our first product displayed here on the front page of our e-commerce website. Google Pixel 5, the phone, the more button does not work yet, but we'll be working on it. But it feels good, doesn't it? Now let us go back to the code and see how to create this details.php file. First, details.php, and inside this file what we're going to do is we are going to just copy paste some part of the code here, and also this part of the code. Okay, and we don't need it. Now we need one or two more things to be displayed here, so just copy this, paste it, and paste it again. Let's go back to our local host, and what we need to display here is, so we have already displayed the title, the price, and the image. So the things that we are left with is the description and the brand name. So let's go back. Price is already here. Just add description and brand name. Was it brand name? Yep, brand name. Description. Looks good. Change class name here. Okay. So what we're going to do is we will be refreshing this page and clicking on more. And well, yes, good. The details of our product are visible here. Now let's go back and make a little changes. So the first change would be this. So this would be product details, and save, click. There's still a big gap. Yes, looks better. Now let me just, you can add some bold or italics or whatever you like in this code. What did I do? So I've added bold in the title. Let's see if it works. I'm not sure if it does. Okay, since it's already a heading, my bad. Let me add it here. Okay, save it. So this is the price, and yes, price is in bold now, so you can make a few changes to make your description look better. And let us go back to the main page, and what we're going to do is we are going to create two new files for this laptops and phones to display them separately when we click on any of the drop down menu, since they don't work yet. Now let me show you an example to create a file for this product laptops, and you can create the rest yourself. So first thing that we need to do is we need to go back to this database into a table and create another entry. So the title would be Asus ROG laptop. Price would be 1,20,000. Brand name Asus. Image, so the image is website images, and the name of the image is rogasus.png. rogasus.png, and I've copied some description from the internet. And now the one thing that you need to notice is we are going to be keeping this featured part as 2 instead of 1, and go back to browse, and you can see the detail that we just created with the feature number 2. So now go back to our code and create another file. Let us name it product laptops.php. Let me just see. Yep, I have. So yeah, I may have skipped this part. So in the drop down menu, when we created a navigation bar, here it was written this. So we need to replace this reference with the name of the PHP file that we just created, that is product-laptops.php. So product-laptops.php, and inside this, first thing that we need to do is copy this code, paste it here. Now here change it to 2 and drop down top products, everything looks fine. Save it. Since the feature number will be 2, let us go back, refresh, click on laptops, and here you can see the Asus ROG laptop visible. Now let me add another product on our feature page, that is the front page, to show you how do we display more than one product with the same code. So go back to this database and create another entry. Let's say HP laptop, price would be 80,000. Okay, I think I just created an entry. Let me delete it. Go back. HP laptop, price 80,000. Brand name HP. Image website images. Name of the image, that is hp_laptop.png. hp_laptop.png. and the description, which I've copied from the internet. And in this feature, we're going to be writing 1, since we are displaying this on the front page of our website. Go back to browse. Here are the details. Now let's get back. We don't need to change anything. Just save it, go back and refresh. And as you can see, we have our HP laptop visible here, and similarly we can just add products into a database, and this single piece of code is enough to display them all on a web page. So guys, these are some of the basics of an e-commerce website. You can add more products, choices, more detailed descriptions, and add more designing using CSS, Bootstrap, cards, and buy, sell sections on your website. Just play along with the code and start making your own web pages. So thank you so much guys for watching. If you like this video, do hit the like button and subscribe to Simplilearn to follow more such content. Stay safe and keep learning.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.